So what the BBC is saying is that because fewer men than women report that they're abused, because violence committed by men is so highly publicised, and violence committed by women is massively underreported, and because men killed by women account for only a quarter of all domestic violence deaths, the men are not worth talking about. As with so many issues to do with the relative suffering of men and women, the man's story is left untold. The reality is that female violence is deliberately ignored by the media, government and police, despite what their own figures tell them. The government seeks to deny the existence of female violence, and deny the existence of male victims. As our advertising so helpfully tells us, men can only be perpetrators of domestic violence.
What kind of things go on with women being violent towards men? Because you simply don't hear about it. You never hear about it. Is it just the same stuff that might happen to women, or is it...
Well, according to the refuge that we use, and this was at the launch of our project last year, there were police there, social services, MPs and all that. She opened up and she said, I had no knowledge of what men were going through until they came to the refuge. She said, it's turned on its head all the notions that men and women couldn't mix together. That's the first thing. And secondly, she said, there is absolutely no difference between the men that come to the refuge and the women coming to the refuge in terms of what they've suffered and what their needs and supports are. She said they are absolutely identical. I can certainly say to you that the men phoning us up, in the physical stuff, they are punched, slapped and scratched, they're headbutted, they're kicked in the groin, they have knives stuck in them, they have ashtrays thrown at their heads, they have scalding water thrown over them, boiling fat, they are strangled. On the emotional side of things, nearly all of them are screamed and shouted at, so you imagine that with all the neighbours, and you imagine that sort of day after day, scream and shout, scream and shout, scream and shout. They get false allegations so that she'll go round and tell the neighbours that he's a violent man, so that they'll tell his friends that he's a violent man, so suddenly he goes down the pub and they'll turn away from him or they move off the table, so she'll isolate him.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
I do not hit my wife!
She'll threaten to call the police after she's assaulted him, or they've had a row, and then in other cases that turn through to she does call the police. They'll make physical threats. I'll do this to you, I'll do that to you. They'll make death threats. You wait till you go to sleep, you'll have this knife in you. Like one of the chaps we've got who runs a helpline in Scotland, 20 years he put up with it. And he was a teacher, and he said when it got to the end of the day, he said, I used to start to shake.
And these people don't leave because what?
Kids.
They feel tied to the other person?
Well, yeah, because he's got kids. So he said, if I go, I don't see my kids. And it's simple as that. I leave, she'll just tell me, I mean, a lot of these women say, don't you dare leave, you ever leave, because they know what they're doing. You ever do leave, you ain't going to ever see your kids again. So of course he would then go down on the statistics as a deserting father. He's deserted his family. The truth of the matter is that he's come to this agonising decision of, do I stay there for 20 years or 15 years or whatever it is, or do I say no, I've had enough of it, I'm leaving. And if it's that bad, then sometimes they leave. But this bloke, he didn't. He stuck it for 20 years. He came down here for the training course and stayed here. And he said, you're going to have to put me in a separate room, he said, because I still wake up in the night screaming.
You know, they talk to me about how two women are killed every week in England by their partners. One man is killed, but they don't account for the 3 who commit suicide every week. I know those men, and I know why they kill themselves.